Greetings everyone, welcome to my sketchbook. In the last video I showed you a little bit of my pen collection over here that I got from visiting each of the resorts, or I guess casinos, in Las Vegas. When I would go, I would just go directly to the concierge and ask them for a pen, and then, either take a quick tour or just immediately leave. This one here is from the Mirage. Now, they have like a fountain out front that you can watch. It's like a volcano. Went there for a show. It was Terry Fader. They also have like Siegfried and Roy. They have like a secret garden there with some tigers and other creatures. So like watch dolphins play and stuff like that. So the Mirage is a pretty cool spot. They have other entertainment. They had I think it was a Beatles inspired Cirque du Soleil show as well. So Vegas is fun for visiting that. Also at the Mirage, you can buy these. These are actual used cards from the casino. They don't come with jokers. They don't use them for like poker or blackjack or whatever, so they get rid of them. But this is interesting. So I'm going to use this deck. And in here, I also saw this, which is another casino, 4 queens. So let's get a look at the 4 queens. First, let's get them ready. Now, of course, each one of the queens might represent a historical figure. And I'll show you these very quickly. You already heard me talking about what the suits might represent from like the elements, or, well, different class of people, which is kind of a strange and miserable thing. But yeah, get a quick look at the Queen of Clubs, Queen of Hearts, Queen of Spades, and Queen of Diamonds. Now, you'll notice that each of the queens has a flower in their hand, except for the Queen of Spades is the only one that has like a scepter. Sometimes you might see the Queen of Spades with like an axe, which I think is interesting. I'm going to draw this one, and we'll see how this goes. I'm going to open up my inkwell over here, get my pen ready, and we'll zoom in on this queen. All right, let's see if it'll go not so blurry. All right, let's see what we can come up with. I like to start with the eyes in my doodles. And as you may hear or often see, I don't use like Loomis or whatnot because I'm not working with pencil first. So I'm not getting rid of lines after the fact. So let's see. Although this isn't going to look super clean, I have quite the tilt going here. Now, sometimes you get an attribute, a peleus, amongst the Greek gods and goddesses, who this could reference, and that would be attributed also to Athena. But the Queen of Spades goes by different names depending on the game that you're playing too. How's that looking? Is that blurry? What's going on here? I don't really look at the camera too often. Now, hair is kind of hidden, but almost like a hooded kind of thing going on here. Now, I drew an ear, but not featured with one here. I may put that ear kind of in the dark. This is a strange kind of like flower. I don't really know what that is. Almost looks like a thistle. Now, I should say I've done no research beforehand. So in my rambling, that's all you're going to get. I don't remember all the things. I'm going to do something different with that flower, possibly. From what I remember, some decks of cards might also have Joan of Arc as the Queen of Spades. I do believe. I don't always put in the eyes, so let's see. Not till like usually the end. I need her to look at something generally. Like pupils are generally amongst the last things that I like to draw, just in case there's something else. But I don't really want this picture to go too far along. Now, do we need a scepter? And that's a strange scepter. Well, first let's finish off a little bit of this flower here. I'll come back to that and maybe clean up some of this. That looks a little strange. What else we got going on here? Well, I think that's the main kind of features of what I kind of see here. So it doesn't have to be too outrageous. Now she has a crown. So I've scratched in a few things here. I'll move that up just a little bit for that. There's actually a game called, I think most people call it Big Mama, where the queen has the value of 100 points. It's pretty fun. You get together with people, you can play the game. Let's see here. I'm going to try moving this out just a little bit. Now, let's see if we can try to do something outrageous with this. We're at 12 minutes. Sometimes when you're playing certain games and you are stuck with the Queen of Spades, there can be something kind of no fun about that. It'd be kind of a negative thing. Now, spades are sometimes associated with death. So I guess a negative connotation. And I made that sound like I was saying a question. That is the case. All right. It's also the game of Queen of Hearts, too, come to think of it. I want that to be a little darker over there on that side of the shroud almost. Now, I don't really like this flower. And we can overwork it, of course. What have we got going on here? Hmm. Now the scepter. Now, a scepter is one of those strange things that's supposed to let people know that you have the authority, almost like the talking stick concept. You know what I mean? So if you have the scepter, I mean, you're the person who has the ability to say whatever it is you need to say. I almost feel like we need something maybe slightly more sinister. I have her looking kind of somber. What's that, Neville? Almost 17 minutes. Okay. That's my timekeeper buddy in the background if you hear him. Okay. I wonder. Could probably just leave it like that. Yes. Now is when we try to do something to ruin it, I think, because I think that could be fun. So get a good look at that, because I'm about to make a terrible, terrible mistake, I think. But I like to experiment. So I'm going to get out some water and a brush. And first, I'm going to work on this spade up here and just fill in and blur out some of this symbol. Get rid of some of those lines, the scratches that I made. I can go back and tighten up some of those lines if I feel like it. Here is where, well, get a good look at the face, because I'm going to do something horrible, I think. All right, here we go. Now, do not be alarmed, for this is just a doodle. And we're kind of doing just like a makeup almost. Now, look at these phalanges, the fingers. The metatarsals. Was that Neville? Almost 23 minutes. He doesn't want me to do a very long video. And I don't blame him. All right. Clean that brush a moment. Set the cup aside. Get my pen. Let's try to put some of that detail in. I wasn't perfectly planning on doing this. Because it is kind of spooky. But as I said, we can treat it like it is just makeup. Well, I don't think I need to go any further than that. We can just let it be. All right, well, that one got out of hand, I think. I hope you have a wonderful day. Thanks for hanging out. Ciao for now.